Following up, remember last week we showed you what went down at the Google press event down in Singapore for the Bringing the Next Billion online event. We also had a chance to speak to the Vice President of Products and Engineering for Europe and Emerging Markets, Mr. Nelson Mattos, to tell us what he thinks about the whole mobile industry and the internet in the year 2012.
In the first challenge of eliminating access barriers, a lot has been happening, right? We see all big internet companies investing heavily on emerging markets, right? Google is not the only company that is creating data centers in other places. We see tremendous interest from most operators to understand the internet, and differently than what we saw in the developed world, they all or most of them are starting to have an internet strategy, and data plan is starting to become very important to them. Even though in many countries, data plan is not their largest amount of revenue, it's still voice and SMS, but they're all starting to see the value of that. So I feel very good about the fact that the access barriers are being worked upon. On the second part, which is like people and businesses coming online, I think the people in emerging markets have done an amazing job, right? Everyone is online that can afford. Everyone is people are communicating like crazy. You see this with the adoption of Facebook in these countries. You see this with the adoption of Twitter in these countries. And we are seeing the same with the adoption of G+ in these countries. And also we see an engagement of users much higher than the engagement that we see of the developed country users. Unfortunately, businesses are behind, as Julian actually emphasized, right? You have 14% of the emerging markets population online, you have 2% of SMEs online. That's, I think, what is likely to starting to happen next year. Similarly, because the businesses are not online, the communities that I was talking about that can help, right, further develop the internet are also behind. If businesses are not coming online, if I'm an IT professional, there is not a lot of money for me to make. There is not that many companies I can provide consulting to. There is not, why should I develop applications? I may develop an application to try to sell to in Europe or in the US. So the moment businesses come online, I expect us to see also the big change on the communities and starting to see a lot more people wanting to go after IT profession, developers, and so on and so forth. So access barriers being worked upon, the people are coming online. I think next is going to happen with the businesses, and that is going to drive the communities.
Hi, this is Cherish Lau. I've been using iPhone 4 for the past year and finally made my upgrade to the iPhone 5. We'll begin with how the iPhone 5 feels in my hand. Most likely by the time you're watching this, you already got yourself an iPhone 5, or maybe you're on Android, or just maybe you're considering to get an iPhone 5. With the iPhone 5, there will be many types of prospective buyer. The upgraded from 3GS, or the 4, or those tired of their Android handset, and those that is taking the first step into smartphone market. Just because I have gotten used to my iPhone 4, my first reaction when I picked up the iPhone 5 was that it is really light, and I found myself appreciated that it is lighter than its predecessor. Let's look at the design. The two sections of pigmented glass at the top and bottom of the phone add a pleasant effect for me, and the sapphire glass is meant to be thoroughly durable to complement the Gorilla glass on the front, which I like the most. The 4-inch screen size suits me just fine because I am a big fan of navigating through pages and applications single-handedly. The decision to stick to 4-inch screen while recognizing that people all over the world are now starting to like the idea of a bigger screen to play with shows that Apple doesn't want to move away from the thumb-friendly nature of the device, at least not anytime soon. Not to mention the fact that I can now maximize my productivity using Siri, and of course the faster Core A6 chip. I wouldn't say that Siri is perfect, but I fancy the feature from a geeky perspective. Siri still couldn't pull up local information like nearest restaurants or traffic condition, but setting up reminders, meetings, alarm, or sending text messages works wonders for me. As with battery life, I'm normally on 3G and occasionally on Wi-Fi. My average use on a daily basis includes browsing the web, checking emails, sending iMessages, and accessing apps like Twitter, Pulse, and Facebook. On average, once fully charged, my new iPhone 5 lasted from 9 AM to 11 PM with 25 to 30% of battery life to spare. To sum it all up, after less than 2 weeks with the iPhone 5, I'm extremely pleased with my purchase. The iPhone 5 truly is a phone that I feel comfortable using on a daily basis. Or maybe it's just me. Music is everyone's best friend. Most of us do not mind investing in a good pair of headphones and sometimes speakers with astounding sound quality. A project on Kickstarter that caught our eye this week is the Transparent Speaker by People.
We are People, a design agency out of Stockholm, Sweden. We're the team behind the Transparent Speaker. Easy to use, great sound, great aesthetics, and more sustainable.
Most people love music, and so do we. That's why we want to make it easy for people to play music at home. No matter where you store your music today, this speaker will make it a really great sound quality, and it's wireless.
We believe big change always starts with a small group of very passionate people. If you choose to support this cause, not only will you receive a great product, you will also be part of creating the next generation of home electronics.
This project is now on Kickstarter and will only be funded if at least $120,000 is pledged by January 27, 2013. As of December 26, 2012, the project has raised $95,162.